Good job, Dallas Cowboys. Good job, Dallas Cowboys. Thank you so much for the jokes, for the fodder, for all the fun times. Thank you, Dak. Thank you so much. Can never repay you for all the humor, for all the fun times that you've provided to us over the course of however long your career's been. How long's it been? He's probably been in the league, 8 years, I want to say. Something like that. What's up out there? The corn? You're a corn? Beam team in the house. Uh-oh. Warriors lost, end of the streak. Yeah, that one sucked. The Cavs had our number all game. I watched most of the game. But the Cowboys, they provided enough entertainment for everyone. That was a good time. That was a good time. Let's see if I didn't set this up yet. Did not set this up yet. Hold on a second. Here we go. Let's see. Hopefully the NFL doesn't claim me for this. Let's not show that. Oops. Look at that. That is a good time. That's fun for everybody. That's fun for everybody. So, thank you once again, Dak. Thank you so much. Thank you for the good times. What do you guys think about that? I want to know what everyone's thoughts are on Dak Prescott. Forgot it was Sunday in football today. Nice to have a bye week. Yeah, the bye week it gets quiet, it gets lonely, But the 49ers, it worked out for the 49ers. The bye week was very good to us, But yeah, that was a good time. It probably actually would have helped the 49ers for the Cowboys to win, but I hate the Cowboys too much. I could never root for them in a situation like this. Same with baseball with the Dodgers. Even if the Dodgers were, playing another division rival that would help us if they beat them, I just won't root for the Dodgers. I'll just be like, let the chips fall where they may. I'm not rooting for the Dodgers or the Cowboys. I think Oakland A's will stay in Oakland next year. I think next year, yeah. Did you delete the comment? It disappeared. Still think Dak ain't it. Neither is Trey. I never thought Dak was it. I thought Dak was not very good from the start. So, yeah. Speaking of the A's, I was gonna get into it later. It's on my little checklist up there. At 8 o'clock, there is a Summer of Sale Twitter Spaces, I guess. I've never done a Twitter Spaces, but the Summer of Sale documentary folks are putting on a Twitter Spaces thing at 8, so I might wrap this up at 8 and try to check that out. Yeah, so if you guys are interested in more Summer of Sale stuff and more the Sell the Team movement, check them out. Summer of Sale documentary coming soon. And yes, I have spoken with them. So yeah, I just wanted to show the Dak thing. Let's run it back. I just love that. Just, you're so close and you just step right out. Oh, they were so excited. And then look, hold on, they say. Hold on. No, he sure doesn't. I love those cleats though. Fantastic cleats. I'll say that much. Dak gets respect for those ones. But yeah, that was funny. Couple people. The most requested topic of discussion was Chase Young. So I will, I guess, touch on that. I don't have much to say. Obviously it's a great addition. I kind of felt like our line was already stacked though, and maybe it was the scheme that was the problem, since we do have so much talent there. And I did want a cornerback. I wanted a cornerback more than anything. We barely have any depth at cornerback. It would be nice for, our two cornerbacks to get more breaks and stuff. Have some depth for the slot. Like, there's our cornerbacks. I don't know. I thought Jalen Johnson was going to be available. It seems like the Bears were asking too much. And there was another cornerback I saw that I guess the 49ers were they reached out about and had an offer, and it was declined. I can't remember who it was. One of you guys might know. They're already tearing down the Tropicana Hotel. It's already done deal. I don't want any more Oakland Trash sports teams. I mean, they were going to tear down the Tropicana anyways, right? Like, I think I talked about this on another live stream, but the Tropicana site is way too small of a footprint for a legit stadium, unless they did a small stadium, which would suck. I think, I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but it's something like Oracle Park, which already has kind of a small footprint, is like 13 acres, square acres, or whatever you want to call it. It's like 13, and then the Tropicana site's like 9. So it would have to be significantly smaller than Oracle Park, which already kind of has a vertical footprint. So I don't know. I'm Ohio boys gonna dominate. Yeah, man. Let's hope there's like some chemistry there with Chase and Boser, Nick Boser. I hope so. Steve Wilkes blitzes too much for the deal. Yeah, I mean it's weird how it hasn't been working. So maybe the team, maybe the front office saw that there was an issue, and Chase Young is the solution to that issue. Maybe it's just something we don't see. We're not the experts. They're more of experts than we are. But I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, I'm happy for the addition, obviously, and we fleeced the Commanders once again, second time in a couple years. So I'll take it. I still wanted a cornerback, but I'll take it. I just hope that in the offseason, I hope that cornerback and O-line are our main focus. O-line is kind of the same thing, especially with Trent Williams getting up there. And we saw, like, we can't rely on one person. Obviously, Trent Williams is one of the best to ever do it. Like, one of the best O-linemen of all time. Like, I mean, top 5 all time. I don't think you can really debate that. And so we can't really rely on one person, even if it is someone that good. We need more depth there. A's owner already owns the property, plus the adjacent property where the 58 people were murdered belongs to. Whoa, I didn't know that. So next to like Mandalay Bay, that shooting, I guess. I didn't know they own that too. Oh yeah, when's the F1 race? Anyways, it seems like they've been setting up for a long time. I would love to see an F1 race. I've seen a bunch of NASCAR races at Sears Point when I was a kid. Never F1 though. I did want to show you guys. I always like to do show and tell on these. I have the ticket stub for my first 49ers game ever. This is the first 49ers game I ever attended. 1996. 49ers and Ravens. Yeah, this was fun. It's weird. My recollection was a little off on what I thought happened because I just looked up this game recently. This is the first year of the Ravens. This is when the Browns just turned into the Ravens. I watched it back. I think Jerry Rice and T.O. had a bunch of catches. William Floyd, I think, had a touchdown. I'd have to go watch it again, but pretty cool. Still having this ticket stub. And one thing I remember from this game that I can't find anywhere, because the only things I can find online about this game is basically the box score and just basic highlights. And then I found the highlight reel package from ESPN from this game, which obviously is like, it's like a minute long, if that, so they don't show everything. But I swear during this game, Dexter Carter returned a punt for a touchdown, which was called back because of a holding call. And I always kick returners, punt returners has always been like one of my favorite positions, and I loved Dexter Carter. So I can't find that information anywhere if that actually happened. I can't find any video of it or anything like that. He did, on the score, he has a few returns that day, but of course with the holding call they didn't mark that down on the box score. So I don't know. November 16th, damn, that far in advance, man. I thought for sure it'd be like way sooner, because it seems like they've been setting up for a while. Like I saw the videos of them putting up the screens on the walkways so that people can't watch from the pedestrian walkways. So that's a while for Vegas to be all locked up. Thoughts on the Raiders firing their coach? What's up, Jake? Great. It was great for them. Josh McDaniels is not a good head coach. Pretty good coordinator, not a good head coach though. And it was a long overdue. And now the Raiders are spending all their money on coaches that aren't even coaching anymore. I posted this on Threads, the new Instagram, Twitter, that Raiders fans need to put the parade floats back in the warehouse out on the outskirts of Henderson, because the Giants are one of the worst teams in the league. So good win, but and Andres Gonzalez just responded, said, which sports venue is on your bucket list? That's a great question. Give me a second to think about that, because there's so many. And let me catch up on this chat, and then I will answer. Formula One Heineken Silver Las Vegas Grand Prix 2023. Okay. Thanks, Kevin. My personal Google. When was the last time a Niner returned any kick for a touchdown? Seems like a decade or longer. I mean, yeah, I can't remember one since Ted Ginn. But then again, there's way less returns in general now because of, the newer rules. But Ted Ginn had some good ones. But yeah, that's been over a decade now. But yeah, if anyone can find it, I will send you a something or other tour or a Vertlife shirt if you guys can find a clip of Dexter Carter returning a punt against the Ravens in 1996 that was called back on a penalty. If anyone can find that, I would love to see that. Favorite non-Bay Area venue you've been to? McDaniels and the Raiders deserve everything they get. Broncos fan. That's funny. No comment. Favorite Bay Area non-Bay Area venue. So these questions are hard for me to answer, honestly, because I love every venue. There's no venue I've been to that I didn't like. I mean, and not even just like love. Like, bro, you guys don't understand. This is genuine. When I'm all excited about his venue, it's genuine. So, this past year when we went to the Alamo Dome, Warriors Spurs was incredible. The Alamo Dome was always this like crazy thing to me growing up, and watching Spurs games as a kid. And I loved David Robinson, and my best friend at the time, Marcel, shout out Marcel, his favorite player was David Robinson. So we would talk about the Spurs all the time, and seeing the Alamo Dome back then with like the weird curtain, it was just so mysterious and huge, and like so that was a thrill. One of the best experiences was the Moda Center in Portland, Blazers game. Everyone there was just super sweet. We saw Dame go off against the Lakers. Close game. Really fun. Bill Walton was there. We had met him on the plane. That was awesome. Citi Field, Giants and Mets was awesome. I just love Citi Field because they incorporate so much New York baseball history. They have Shea Stadium base paths in the parking lot, marked with like plaques. They have the whole facade mimics Ebbets Field, where the Brooklyn Dodgers used to play, and they have the Jackie Robinson Rotunda when you first enter. There's so much cool stuff about Citi Field. But every place. I went to a Rockets game at Toyota Center, just really small, like compact arena, and just a lot of fun. I love they have these like fuse things on the corners, and they always say light the fuse, and they light up. That was cool. Man, I could literally name every venue I've been to because I loved every single one. Every single one. Everyone wants to expand to the States but doesn't want anyone to watch it. It's going to be on 1 a.m. East Coast. Yeah, that's crazy. They're going to race it 1 a.m. Well, is Vegas 1 hour behind Pacific? Vegas isn't Pacific time, right? Dexter Carter was a little guy. I love Dexter Carter, man. What are your thoughts on SFO? Wait, the airport? We're talking about the airport? These Bengals are pretty good. Are they winning? I saw when I started to set this up, they were up by a touchdown. Okay, back to the question I got on Instagram was which sports venues on your bucket list. So for baseball, my top in baseball is Wrigley Field, PNC Park, and Tropicana Field, Tampa Bay Rays. Just because it's different, it's old, it's run down apparently. Balls can hit the roof. Everyone supposedly hates it, and so I want to see it. PNC Park in Pittsburgh is probably, besides Oracle Park, like the one park I think is the most beautiful. And I just want to go to Pittsburgh so bad. It just seems like a cool city. There's a lot of, I have like a fun list of things I want to check out there. There's some cool history around there and stuff. And then Wrigley Field, of course, because it's Wrigley Field. Growing up, like probably most of you, WGN was available everywhere. So I would watch a lot of Cubs games. Watch Harry Carey announce the Cubs games. This was like the days of Mark Grace, Ryan Sandberg when I was super young, Sammy Sosa. So I always had a soft spot for the Cubs. And then, of course, Rookie of the Year, one of my favorite baseball movies. So Wrigley Field would be a thrill, absolute thrill. And then football. So you guys may remember, but last year I was supposed to go to Buffalo to a Buffalo Bills game against who were they playing? I can't remember. They ended up playing the game in Cleveland though because because an epic snowstorm hit Buffalo and shut down all the flights, all the roads. They moved the game to Cleveland, and so my whole trip was canceled, and it sucked because I had to fight to get my money back. I had already dropped a couple $1,000s. I had an awesome list of places to go film. Like I had some really cool episodes planned. So that's one thing that just kind of bothers me. It's just like a thorn in my foot. So I want to see Ralph Wilson, especially before it's gone, because the Bills. There's always new announcements. They're making steps towards building a new stadium, and it's only a couple years off, so I got to see that. And what else? I mean, in football too, Soldier Field might go away soon. They're trying to replace it, so I'd love to see Soldier Field. The classic old stadium with a spaceship parked on top of it. And then other than that though, Astrodome. Again, when I was in Texas, you guys may remember. I think I posted this somewhere. I think on my Patreon, I have some Patreon bonus episodes that are Patreon exclusives. And I drove to Houston just to try to check out the Astrodome and see what the situation was. And there was a lot of on-site security and stuff with NRG Stadium being next to it and all that. And it's a National Historic Site, so they're not going to get rid of it, luckily. And they keep announcing, these groups will announce plans that they have to renovate it and turn it into something else. So I believe that one day I'll get into the Astrodome. So I'm not too worried about it, but that's one that is up there for me. Dude, Jake, awesome, man. You should go to Giant Spring Training Camp in Glendale. I'd love to. I need to. I want to. And yeah, I'll do a whole bunch of sods. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you. You should hook up with Adam the Woo for the Rays. Yeah, I'd like to, man. He's been super nice. Last game I was surprised he remembered me. He's messaged me a couple times, and funny story. So that game, um, the reverse boycott, right? I met up with Adam the Woo there. I had left a comment on his Facebook, and he had replied and said like, "Oh, are you going?" I said, "Yeah," because we had met at an A's game the year before, and we met there. We were chatting, and I'd mentioned I was like, "We're about to go to San Diego right now, or tomorrow." Or it was like tomorrow the next day. Like we're about to go to San Diego to go film some stuff. It was me and my cousin. And Adam was like, "Oh, I'm going to San Diego." And unfortunately, I just had so many plans in San Diego, so I kind of just didn't say anything. But I wish I would have been like, "Hey, let's go do something while we're there." That would have been cool. I really like Adam. So it would have been cool to kind of link up. And then he ended up going somewhere that we had planned to go, and then it's a long story. Something crazy happened, and we ended up going the day after he went, so the video dropped the same day that we were there, but he was there the previous day, which we were supposed to go to, and then we got stuck out in the desert and almost ran out of water, and it was a crazy time. And one of these live streams I'll tell the whole story. It's long right now, so I don't want to get too much into it. 21-7, Bengals up. Las Vegas is 7:07, so it's Pacific time, like California. Okay. PNC is gorgeous, and Pittsburgh is an awesome city. I have a soft spot for the Rust Belt cities, and Pittsburgh has done the best of them at transitioning their economy and staying vital. Yeah, I always hear there's a pretty big tech sector in Pittsburgh now. I know a lot of the old timers complain about the trendy little coffee shops and all the stuff that comes along with that, but if you want your city to survive, you gotta change with the times, I think. It's always bittersweet, though. You guys know me. I'm always like wanting to preserve history and stuff, but so I totally understand that. And San Francisco is definitely one of the cities that has been hit hard with that. It's so much has changed as far as just the people and the establishments, and there used to be a lot more art, a lot more artists, and it's so hard to live because it's so pricey and so expensive. And there's so many empty places because all these investors invest in it. And, so it's hard to live there, less artists, which is too bad. But, there's some good with it, too. Despite what, the media says, San Francisco's a lot cleaner than it was when I was a kid. There's definitely some terrible trouble spots that get amplified by, basically a political agenda. But I'm in San Francisco every day. It's not the Gotham City that they paint it as. It's a wonderful, beautiful city with problems. And again, you guys know I travel not a lot. I'm not like constantly traveling, but I've been enough places to see that the problems that plague San Francisco plague humanity pretty much everywhere, unfortunately. So I think we need. You can't expect local politicians to solve global problems that have plagued civilization since civilization was a thing. Obviously, they should, but we can't just put a Band-Aid on some of these things. Eventually, the rich people will have to pay their share to help us. What's up, party people? Crazy day of football. Yeah, it's crazy how many blowouts there were. Pittsburgh has more bridges than any other city in North America. That's crazy to know because, like, when I went to Portland, there was bridges everywhere. I was like, man, if you guys don't stop with these bridges. So I want to see Pittsburgh since there's even more. The NBA expanded to Vegas. Couldn't they share the arena with the Las Vegas Knights? I don't know the size of it, but I wouldn't see why not. San Francisco is one of my favorite cities. I don't care what the GOP said. Yep, exactly. It's a political agenda. The problems are real. There's real problems, but you'll see those problems everywhere. Promise. I've seen them in whatever color state you want to say, and I've seen it in other countries as well. So it's not what they say. Drive around Sacramento nowadays just as bad as SF, if not worse. Yeah, these are problems plaguing pretty much all of society because I think it begins with the wealth inequality in the world and the lack of basically social safety nets and helping people that have mental illness or addictions and stuff like that in a proper way, not just with a band-aid. Like, we should try to prevent people from being homeless when they're toddlers, when they're children, instead of waiting until they're homeless and then trying to like dig them out of a hole by just throwing money at the problem. It just doesn't help, you know. Yeah, Robert, the stadium is being built way south of the Strip. They could use the Knights Stadium. Our Aces are 2 times back to... Man, the Aces are so good. I can't wait for the Golden State WNBA team. And hopefully we can put up a fight. And I mean, it's going to be a few years, so Aces might not, you know, sustain until then anyways. But I hope they do, so that we could have maybe have some epic battles. Seattle isn't any different than SF. Yeah, man. All these cities, man, it's the same stuff. And I've seen cities across the country, not just these, you know, West Coast cities. I've been to some places that look like third world places, and they're in the United States, but, you know, they're not in the viral videos everywhere. You know, it is what it is, man. People, you know, just want to believe what they want to believe, and again, the videos aren't fake. That, you know, there's real problems. But, you know, they're blaming the wrong things, I think, when they make these videos go viral. And again, the access to information we have, where, like, you know, back in the day, there could be some crazy thing that happens down the street from you, and you would never know unless maybe it made the newspapers and you picked up a newspaper the next day. But now you can see it instantly. So it amplifies things, and I think that's why people are always like, is stuck in this doom loop of like, oh, things are always worse. It's not always worse. A lot of things get better. You just have to kind of see it logically. Again, they say San Francisco's so bad, man. I remember when I was a kid, Soma was tent cities everywhere. Like under the Bay Bridge in Soma, tent cities the whole way. And we were walking to the 49ers Super Bowl parade in 95. I was a little kid. My dad pulled me out of school so we could go to the parade. We had to park like pretty far. Like, we parked down near where like Oracle Park is now, but this is before Oracle Park. And we had to walk all the way up to Market Street, and it was just tents we were walking past. And my dad's friend Vince had a brand new, beautiful, all white NFC Championship hat. So it had the NFC logo in the front, had the 49ers logo on the side. He had got it right before the Super Bowl. Beautiful hat. And this guy, homeless guy, commented on it while we walked by. Said like, nice hat or something. We walk by, we go to the parade, we see Deion Sanders, we see Steve Young, we see Jerry Rice. Heck of a time, right? Walking back, that same homeless guy, this guy had like one of those old school like Newsies caps on. He walks up to my dad's friend Vince, snatches his hat off, snatches Vince's hat, and swaps them. He puts his hat on Vince and takes Vince's hat. And Vince starts chasing him, and then stops, and then he had a backpack on. He hands it to my dad and just goes after this guy and snatches it off, gets his hat back, throws his hat at him. And the guy, I remember for years I would say this, the guy was like, fair trade, fair trade, fair trade. And it wasn't a fair trade at all, you know? But, and Vince was a Marine, so, like, he wasn't someone you really wanted to mess with. But I just say that to say that, you know, San Francisco's always had problems. It's always, the West Coast cities, like the ones you guys named, will always have a slightly bigger problem because it is the West Coast. And in most of these cities, especially California, you can be homeless and not die. You know, it's pretty easy to not die. As opposed to, you know, Minneapolis. If you're homeless there, you got to make some decisions, you know, come fall time. But, you know, in the West Coast, you can survive way easier. So I think it's always going to have a bigger homeless problem with that. But anyways, that was always a funny story to me. Vegas is expanding too much with sports stadiums. I got to look them up. I don't even know which ones, you know, are there. Triple B, what up? A's are considering playing in Summerlin where the Aviators play. Is the Aviators a minor league team? I think I know their logo. It would be like the Chargers playing in that small stadium. Oh, that was so fun, though. Nobody in Vegas wants the A's. We want NBA expansion. Bro, that's one of my favorite videos back in the day. It was the StubHub Center. I called it the MTV... What was the acoustic? MTV Unplugged. MTV Unplugged of NFL games. So much fun seeing, Chiefs Chargers in that tiny little stadium. What was the wildest game you ever been to in football or baseball? Wild. It depends what you mean by wild. Just like crazy, like the farewell candlestick game, the pick of the stick was just insane. But as far as like a back and forth, or like, it was just like unbelievable. I did a video on my channel, Thursday Night Thriller, Chiefs Raiders in Oakland, and that one just kept going back and forth. And then the Raiders got like 3 mulligans on the goal line to eventually win the game with no time on the clock. That one was crazy. I don't know. I've been to some good battles, man. I'm trying to think. I went to like a 16 inning game for the Giants. That was wild. Game 4 of the 2014 World Series was a good one. We were down and came back and won that. That was fun. And that was me and Cole were there. We were like actually frustrated because like we happened to be in a section that had a decent amount of Royals fans, so I think that made it worse. But like the stadium was just quiet, and Oracle Park at this time, especially like 2014, we had won 2 championships. Every game, the whole year, like it didn't matter. It could be beginning of the season, middle of the season, whatever. Oracle Park was always rocking around that time. And all of a sudden, we're there in the World Series and it's quiet. And we're like, wow, this is kind of a bummer. Our first World Series game ever. And it's just like quiet and dead. So me and my brother were trying to get hyped. We're trying to yell, but we're surrounded by Royals fans, so we couldn't do much. And then, but finally, the Giants started crawling back. I believe that was the Hunter Pence when he hit the ball 3 times with the broken bat. I think that hit was that game. So we crawled back. We came back and won it. So it got crazy at the end, luckily. But at the beginning, it sucked. Minor league, they used to be called the 51s. Okay, I know their logo. I really like the Reno Aces logo. I want to get a Reno Aces hat. Seattle and Vegas are getting teams soon enough. For NBA, most likely. Cowboys 49ers this year. Yeah, I wouldn't say that was wild, though. That was just a mollywhopping, one-sided. Who doesn't love free baseball? Extra innings are awesome. Yeah, man. I always, I never got a quad egg candlestick pin. I never went to a extra innings game at Candlestick, unfortunately. I always want one of those pins. Yeah, speaking of pins, I got some ideas coming soon. I know our last W for real. It's been a skid, man. I was just real quick, dishwashers. Did you guys know, like, you don't have to really rinse your dishes, like, completely? Because I've been, I'm weird with it, like, especially hygienic stuff. Like, I can't eat with something that's not, like, freshly washed. Like, even when I pull something out of the drawer, like a fork, I still, like, rinse it again just in case there's dust in the drawer or anything. So, like, I would take my dishes and hand wash them in the sink and then put them in the dishwasher, right? And then H3 Podcast, which is a big podcast if you guys don't know about it, and YouTube channel, they're former YouTubers, they had a whole discussion about how you don't need to do that. The dishwasher is good enough to clean on its own. But I wouldn't put chunks of food in there, so like I still would rinse chunks of food off. But I just tried it. I had a whole sink full of dishes, and I was like, let me try it. Put it in the dishwasher, put some detergent in the pre-wash little thing, which a lot of people skip, but that's like a crucial step. So put a little detergent there, detergent in the main wash, washed it, they were all clean. There's one thing that kind of needed a little love, but that might have been the angle. That just blew my mind. So guys, I'm just here to tell you, your dishwasher is good enough. I know that's super random, but it just happened right before I did the live stream, and I was excited. I was like, oh my God, my dishwasher actually, like, it's just nice. It'll save me a lot of time, and water. 49ers 2002 wildcard comeback in 2011 49ers Saints divisional are the 2 craziest I've been to. Man, those are good games. Those are good games. So the 49ers Saints 2011, my buddy had tickets and I wanted to go. I didn't have the money that week, and so I couldn't go. And then after the game, I was so upset. And you guys may remember from my old videos, but Alex Smith was my favorite player. So like the fact that he finally just like went off in the playoffs, and like that bootleg end around when he ran it in is one of my favorite plays of all time. So I was so bummed. So I went to the championship game right after that, and the Giants whooped us. I wouldn't say they whooped us, actually. We had plenty of opportunities to win, but Kyle Williams fumbled a couple punts, almost fumbled a third. What's his name? Was it Brandon Jacobs, I want to say? I'm getting old. He fumbled, but they didn't call it a fumble. It was rainy. That was a long walk and wait to get out of Candlestick that night. Oracle Park in your top 20 MLB. yeah, you could say that. It's in my top 1. Do you like the pitch count in baseball and have runner on second after 9 innings when the game is still tied after 9 innings? I don't like the pitch clock. Won't ever. I understand the benefits, but the way I see it, I said this in my I think in the reverse boycott game, the A's game. I said this in that video, but like, if you want less baseball, just don't watch baseball. Like I like the drama. If anything, I would accept the pitch clock if they did away with it in the playoffs. Like, let the drama of the playoffs, sit. But my problem with it, so it's not bad when you're at home, but when you're at the game, it's like I just feel like I don't have time for anything. So the game, the Unite the Bay game, I knew that in the 5th inning, we were going to do the sell the team chant to support the A's, and I went to go walk around to film stuff, and my cousin Steve was there. It was his first time at a game there, so like I wanted to show him stuff like the cable car and all that. And then all of a sudden it was the 5th inning. I was like, oh, we got to rush back. So we had to rush back to the bleacher seats to chant sell the team with all the A's fans and stuff. It just goes by too fast, man. Like I want to be able to like chill. And I like that every sport was a little different. So like, basketball has its vibe, football has its vibe that's like really amped up. Basketball is like a lot of energy, but not as much like aggressive energy. So they had their own vibes. And then baseball to me was always like a picnic, like you were kind of chilling. And now it doesn't feel like that, and that kind of bums me out. In the runner on second, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure. It doesn't feel pure, but sometimes it's been fun. If it was my choice, I'd probably do away with it, though, honestly. But it's not the worst thing. Some dishwashers don't work as well, so it's good practice to rinse them before. Yeah, so I'm going to rinse them still, like a quick rinse. But I was doing like a deep scrub and then washing them again. So I'm not going to do that. Only stadium I've been in was Echo Arena, aka Sleep Train. Mons has season tickets 86-97. Wow. Never been to any other stadium for... Really? That's crazy, man, because you obviously love sports. Like, I'm surprised. Do you not like live games or what? Still don't like anyone wearing... Hey, man. It sucked, but I don't hate Kyle Williams. We all make mistakes. I don't think it was cool he was getting death threats and stuff, Like, obviously it sucks, and I was mad at him, especially sitting up there in my nosebleeds and Candlestick, but, like, it is what it is. It happens. It happens. And honestly, I think there's some truth to the fact that didn't he have a concussion, or they thought he did or something. The fact that he had an injury or something, and Ted Ginn was out already, and the fact that he still kept returning punts even though he muffed like the first 2, and then you're still going to have him in there for the third. Like, yeah, it wasn't just on him, I don't think. And it was a rainy day. Like, it's not... Punt returning is hard, man. And like I said earlier with Dexter Carter, I love kick returners, punt returners. So, I don't know. I don't hate him for it. I'm bummed. I feel like Carlin said, going to a sports game, you realize you're perfectly capable of killing another human being. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. It is a lot. So after a game, I definitely like to go somewhere quiet after, solitary, I'm not one of the people that really goes to. I know a lot of people go to a game and then go to like a bar after, like a sports bar and grill or something like that, a sports bar. I'm not that, man. I go home and want peace and quiet. Um, Old sods. Someone had asked me like what some of my favorite old episodes are. So I was gonna just forgotten episodes rather. I was gonna say there's one at the Chuki General Store I wanted to talk about. Chuki General Store was a Gold Rush era general store that was built for Chinese laborers. It served Chinese laborers in Fiddletown, which had a significant Chinese population. And basically, this general store it was like a general store, pharmacy, grocer. And then what is cool is like in the 19 teens, around like World War One, a guy bought it. And at that point, the store had closed. And so it was just a private residence. But he like left the store as is. So it's like this old general store that he just locked up and lived in, and there were still like items on the shelf. And he lived there for decades. And then when I can't remember what happened, but he passed away or something, and maybe he like donated the building to like some sort of history organization, something like that. But it's been like a museum since then. So it's this preserved Chinese general store from the Gold Rush. It's awesome. And it's only open, or I don't know the hours now, but it's only open like one day a month, something like that. One weekend a month. It's hard to get to, and still to this day. I mean, I put this video out 4 years ago or something. It just crossed 1,000 views like last month, right? So it doesn't it doesn't have a whole lot of views. But it's a video that I'm super proud of. So if you ever get a chance, check out the Chuki General Store video. What's up, Jennifer? How you doing? Going to Raiders game was brave on your part. I mean, people talk. People talk a lot. And the thing is, I'm always in good spirits. I'm never like angry. I've actually had more issues at Raiders games that I didn't film. I've been to a lot of Raiders games. So, I've had more problems off camera. And then the one like Chiefs game I went to where I was like, I'm trying to get heckled, and like nobody had any good heckles. It is what it is. But, people talk a lot. I'm not worried. I mean, I could get jumped, but if I'm not jumped, I'm not the biggest guy in the world, but I know how to fight. So it is what it is. I can defend myself. I have pretty good motor skills. And I don't drink, so I'm sober. So if a drunk person wants to throw, inaccurate Hail Marys at me, haymakers, then we'll see how it goes. But I'm not there to fight. I'm there to have fun. Like, I have no problem with Raiders fans. The Sasquatch guy, dude, I love that episode too. The Bigfoot Museum's awesome, man. I love that video. It's too bad because it was like, we filmed it when we were still in the middle of the pandemic. So I had a mask on, and the guy, he has respiratory issues. So I definitely didn't want to like accidentally get him sick or something. But it's a bummer because just like I thought it was pretty funny, but I feel like the mask unfortunately stifled some of the humor. But it is what it is. It was a moment in time, right? It was a period of history that we all collectively lived through, most of us anyways, and so it is what it is. Didn't Locke have an earthquake after your video came out? That's what someone said. We had an earthquake here too. I think we've had like 2 earthquakes recently. I was at work the other day and there was an earthquake. Whole desk started shaking. But yeah, let's see this. That's my channel content. All right, let's see behind the scenes. Look at that like ratio. That's pretty good. And these ones aren't even that great. These ones could have been better. But here's where'd it go? This is Chuki General Store. So this one, I'm super proud of this one. It just hit 1,000 views after like 4 years. So if you ever want to see some cool history, you know, check that video out. You know, skip ahead. You know, this is in Fiddletown. Yeah. Awesome place. Awesome place. And I'll try to see like all this stuff in there is like original. Like there was still the guy who he just lived in the back room and just left everything else. Like left everything there. Super cool. So check out the Chuki General Store video. That's one I'm really proud of. You know. Oh, there's 2 earthquakes in Isle 10 lock area. I wonder if, I mean, I guess there were different earthquakes. They're kind of far, but have you ever thought about going to Lucas Ranch? As in like George Lucas Ranch? Because I definitely have, but I don't think I would have access, unfortunately. It would be super cool. I've gone to Lucasfilm in the Presidio. I've thought about doing like sort of a quick episode there to like show the grounds. And then the Yoda statue, and it used to be a hospital, Letterman Hospital, and my great uncle Bob, rest in peace, Bob Scott, he was wounded in Vietnam pretty badly, and he came to Letterman Hospital, and he was there for a very long time. He was very, very wounded. His story is actually in a book. If you ever find a book, it's out of print, but there's a book called Lion Doggy. It's about Vietnam stories. His story is in that book. But he spent a lot of time at Letterman Hospital, and Letterman Hospital, I don't know which exact building because there's multiple buildings. So his building that he was in might have been torn down, but some of the buildings are now different companies, and Lucasfilm being one of them, and Industrial Light and Magic as well. So I like to think that he was in, you know, Lucasfilm. And LucasArts is there too, the ones who make the video games. I think they're still active. But yeah, I should probably do a video there just to show the grounds. It's cool. You can go see the Yoda statue. I think you can go in during the day, which I've never done, but you can peer into the window and there's like life-size Star Wars stuff. There's a life-size R2-D2 right in the entryway, which is super cool. There's like Imperial guards like down this one hallway. You can look through the window and they're just like lining the hallway, which is cool. Yeah. I definitely want to go there. And bloopers. I was going to talk about bloopers. I want to show you guys something that I'm really upset about. I'm really not happy about this. Okay, this is my main camera that I use. This is a smaller lens that I only use for sports games now. But see, I have the microphone. This is like one of the main microphones I use. I have a different microphone as well. This isn't really the real setup I use. This is for demonstrations. But see how it has this cord that plugs in to the camera here, right? Now, this right here had a door that you have to pop open to access this. I took the door off because of this mistake I'm about to tell you. So the entire time, I'm telling you, the whole trip, when we went to Texas earlier this year, the Alamo Dome, and a bunch of other stuff that I haven't put out yet. Houston Rockets game, all the Texas stuff. I filmed like 6 things while I was there. Every single one. This, where the microphone's plugged in, was accidentally plugged in. I don't even see it now. Where is it? There's multiple doors. It was plugged in here, which is a headphone jack. So yes, I filmed a whole 2-week trip. I filmed with my microphone plugged into the wrong port, which means it was getting very, very bad onboard audio the entire time. And that's why if you watch the Alamo Dome video, I think that video is awesome. But the audio is garbage. And not only that, but there was a whole segment I filmed where I walked away and I had my lapel mic on. There's a whole segment that, see, I think I showed you guys, I would take this off and then plug it into the other microphone receiver here. There's a whole part where I walked away and Steven filmed me from afar at the Alamo Dome, and I was talking into my lapel mic, which wasn't actually connected because it was in the wrong port here. So I couldn't even use any of that footage. So yeah, I ruined all those Texas videos, and I'm editing one of them now, and it sucks because the audio is terrible. But you know, you live and learn. So that's why I literally just ripped this door off on this one, so I wouldn't accidentally open the wrong door and put the jack in the wrong hole. So if you see any of the Texas videos, that is why the audio is terrible, and I'm very upset with myself. I'm not an amateur with cameras. I'm not an expert, far from an expert, but like, I'm not an amateur, and I just did that for a whole trip. I'm gonna partially blame Steve because he was with me and he never caught it either. I wonder how you got such good video in the stadiums. Has any league attempted to claim your content? Not claim my content, but I have a hard time getting certain cameras in. So that's actually, this is an old lens. It's actually a crop lens, and this is like a full frame sensor, so it doesn't work 100% properly. But because it's such a small stature, they usually don't trip and let it in, because sometimes they'll have a card where they measure my lens and they'll be like, you know, that's too long. So this lens, they usually don't trip. I also have an older camera that I used for a whole bunch of my videos. So I've only had this camera like a year and a half. Maybe not even that long. I can't remember. Like at least over a year now. But yeah, probably a year and a half. But the other camera I had was very similar to this, but a little smaller even, which was nice because, you know, that smaller camera with this lens, they didn't really trip. But some of the places do trip. And what I usually do is like, I'll take apart everything. Like I'll take the microphone and separate it and put it in the bag. And usually they don't trip on that, and then I just reassemble it when I get in. But a lot of places are very, very picky. I took a GoPro when years ago I did a San Jose Sharks game on this channel, and they didn't let me bring in a GoPro. I was like, why would I not have a GoPro? And I was able to get it in, and then I went up the stairs. If you've ever been to the SAP Center, I went up the stairs and I took out the GoPro and started filming, and someone working there saw me, and they came and grabbed it, and then they put it in, like, they stored it for me, luckily, which was nice of them. And then so after the game I went to go look for it, and like nobody knew where it was, and I was getting very angry, and they finally found it. So yeah, they get weird about that. And that's one of the reasons, like earlier I said, I love the Moda Center in Portland, because, you know, I'm always super nervous going to these games and like trying to get in, like, oh, are they gonna not allow my camera? Are they gonna do this or that? And Moda Center was like sweet little old ladies working there. They didn't care. They were just so kind, so nice. You know, it's one of the things I'm actually I'm working on, something that is along the lines of why this is a bad decision. Something that I'm writing. It's really foolish of them to limit, I think. And I understand where it comes from. They don't want someone to like bring in this heavy duty professional camera stuff and just like, you know, make a documentary or whatever. Like, I get it. And of course YouTube channels are monetized, so you can say it's commercial. I get that, but at the same time, it's like, it's doing so much to promote the game. So as long as someone's not filming like an entire game or whatever, I don't think they should trip. And traditionally, baseball was always super cool about cameras. Like, they would let you bring in like telephoto lenses so you could get cool photos, like action shots. And I think a lot of places still are, but ever since, like, you know, certain crackdowns, when things change, I think like after 9/11, especially stuff like that, they you know, some of the rules get tighter and tighter. And then, you know, a while back, I don't remember how long at this point, but the NFL basically implemented a no bag policy, so you have to have a clear bag. Just stuff like that, man. It makes it hard. I understand why they do it, but I feel like, I wish at least there was an exemption of some sort, because what I'm trying to do is promoting the sport, you know. So it is what it is, though. I understand. It's not, I don't own the stadium, but I wish they'd chill sometimes. Like when I was at Levi Stadium, I'm a season ticket holder. Last game I went to, they didn't let me in with my fanny pack. Like, I've brought this into so many games. It's so small. It's ridiculous. How do you do the twin videos? Should I give away my secrets? Nah, it's not a secret. A lot of people have done it, actually. I've seen more and more YouTubers do this kind of thing. And on TikTok, a lot of people do it because CapCut, this app that you can edit videos, makes it super easy. But you have to basically put the camera on a tripod or set down. It can't move. The camera can't move. And then you film 2 different takes, and then you lay it over each other and you cut them. You mask them out, and so it's pretty simple. And then if it gets a little harder, like say like something in the Ant-Man video where I literally held myself in my hand, you can use rotoscoping to cut yourself out. But I'm up in the ante in some of the clone stuff, which I have too, and it sucks because nobody ever points it out. But like in the Arco Park video, the first in the series of the Arco Arena, the Sacramento Natoma Sports Complex, at Arco Park, I like tagged myself in like I was a wrestler, and like nobody said anything. I'm like, bro, I tagged myself in. How did nobody notice? Come on, give me my credit. I worked so hard on that. But yeah, and there's some really fun clone gags coming up, actually. It kind of started with Locke. If you saw, there's a funny moment in the first Locke video where Steven asks me for a clone and I say no. Work in Vegas theater, and we used to get upset at people filming it, but now we just allow it. Good publicity. Exactly. I understand why certain places, like, I understand why they think it's a bad idea, but basically the data has shown it's a good idea. So there's a lot of museums and stuff like that will say no filming, and it's ridiculous. Like, it's free promotion, it's free commercials, and nobody watches videos on YouTube and is like, oh, I don't need to go now. And if anyone does, it's a super small percentage, and more than anything, it makes people want to go. So when you've seen it a million times, some video will go viral at some place and then it's flooded with people. Right? Some like Instagram influencer will go do a video that gets 3 million views at some like some sacred location, and then like all these influencers go there and stomp on all the flowers and ruin it, right? So it's shown that when people see it, it makes them want to go more. So like these little museums and stuff are really doing themselves a disservice by not allowing filming. And I feel obviously sports teams and stuff, there's no threat of them like going out of business at this point, but like it's still beneficial. It still makes people more hyped. And as fun as, like, think about like with 49ers, right? Like, as fun as it always was at Candlestick, and everyone would go there and have a great time, and we'd all enjoy it, and we all felt like a big family there. It was over once we left, right? But now there's so many YouTube channels, there's like Instagram groups now, there's like podcasts, there's like all this stuff that keeps us connected and built this community that just makes people more and more invested in the team and in the game. And so filming and stuff like that, and Disneyland is a great example. Disneyland has always been chill about filming, and it's literally made Disneyland constantly trending. When I was younger, I remember Disneyland had off seasons, it had slow times, and now with social media and stuff, everything is trendy. People line up for hours to get these stupid like plastic popcorn buckets, and that's because of videos and social media and YouTube. So I wish they would chill. One of the first things I remember early on this channel, I filmed some stuff in LA. It was the same day we did the Bronson Caves. If you've ever gone back and watched the Bronson Caves video, where it was the original Bat Cave from the Adam West TV show. Right before we filmed that, we tried to go to the Museum of Death in LA. I think it's in Hollywood. I can't remember exactly where it is. I think it's in Hollywood. We tried to go there and they said no filming, so we left. And it's just dumb, Levi Stadium is awful when it comes to restrictions. They tried to tell me I couldn't bring in an umbrella once. I had to show them their own rules. Yeah, man, they wouldn't let me in with my fanny pack that I've brought to 1 million games. I'm like, I'm a season ticket holder. I'm here all the time. Like, I've brought this in so many times. And like literally, you know what I did? I took my fanny pack, I folded it up and put it in my clear bag that I also had. And they didn't care. It's like, what is going on, man? So you don't have a twin? I don't have a twin, unfortunately. As much as Cole tries to be my twin, I do not have a twin. But please, if you guys see me do a clone gag and you appreciate the effect, please leave a comment on any of these videos. Speaking of comments, like I asked this in a video, an update video, like a few years ago. I don't know what to do to get more comments, because I say things in the video like, hey, if you've ever done this, leave a comment. I want to get you guys involved. I want to get everyone who watches the videos involved, but like I'm having a tough time. Like, and it's been years, because I asked this years ago. But for example, I mean, my lock video has like 10 comments. Like, you know, what would make people want to comment more? Because I still say, I ask questions. I say, hey, leave a comment if this, leave a comment if that. Let me know your favorite thing you've done over at the thing over there. I want people involved. I want the engagement. I want to talk to people. I want to hear people's stories. Like, oh man, like the Arco Arena video, obviously that one kind of took off. I had such a great time reading all the comments that people left about, like, you know, their memories there. Some people had like one guy, his family worked there, so he got to like run around in there as a kid. Like, I love hearing those stories and comments and stuff, like about, you know, if you have any connection to stuff or anything like that, or something you appreciate. Just if you guys have any ideas how I can get more comments, that would be great, because my engagement levels, based on my views, when I look at like other channels, my engagement levels are super low. And I wish the algorithm cared about likes, because my like ratio is like 98% channel wide. But I don't think that really counts. But comments do count. So if anyone has any ideas, let me know. You hate more, Joe Buck or Grant Cohn? Actually, you know what? This is controversial. I don't mind Joe Buck. I don't mind him. I think there was a period of time, I want to say 8 to 9 years, where he was super boring. Like, he didn't show any enthusiasm. But I think he took that criticism to heart, and I think he's shown a lot more enthusiasm in the last, like, I want to say 10 years. So this is like mid 2000s. I think he was really bad, but I think he's a lot better now. I don't mind Joe Buck. I actually get more irritated with Aikman, but maybe that's because I hate the Cowboys. Peace and have a great day. All right, JB. Have a good one. Some YouTubers encourage people to leave comments to win prizes. I mean, yeah, I've done stuff like that, but I'll leave more comments. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, you don't have to force it, but, you know, if there's anything you want to say, I read every comment. I try to reply to every comment. So, you know, they do matter to me. Have you ever gotten in trouble content for trespassing after a video was posted? Kind of. There's a certain place, basically a ghost town, that is now a state park. And after they emailed me and left a comment on the video, which was ridiculous, saying that this was filmed without a permit. Please contact us. And I'm just like, I get it, okay? If I need to get a permit, I get it. You know, I don't want to break all the rules, right? I understand. If you want a permit, I get it, right? This is my defense, though, or this is my argument, my pushback. They hadn't done no videos about this park. Most people that saw this video, most people I have talked to since I went to this place, have never heard of it. So you guys are doing an awful job at promoting it. So if I was in your shoes and I saw this video filmed without a permit, I would say, hey, my friend, is there any way we can use this video? Can we post this video, or can we use it in promotional materials, or can we ask you to maybe do a different video, do a commercial, do something, talk about this, you know, activity or this event that we have planned? They didn't do that. It was just, you filmed this without a permit, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Again, legally, sure, you got me. But just think about it logically. Think about it like a person. Okay? Like, You guys did no videos. You guys have nothing, basically nothing on the internet. Like, there's a few things here and there, but there's an awesome nonprofit organization that also has an investment in this place, and they're great. They do events. They have a presence on the internet. They loved the video. They reposted the video. They were great. They were awesome, and I will always support what they're doing. But, you know, the state park itself, it's like, come on, guys. Like, you don't have to be this way. You know what I mean? And it goes against the spirit of why there's a permitting process in my eyes. So it's a state park. It's public. We all own it in a way, right? If you live in California, you as a taxpayer own this place. The permit process is so that me or Steven Spielberg doesn't walk out there and film a movie using that place as a set, right? It's kind of a early 20th century location, right? So if I wanted to do a period piece, let's say I wanted to do season 3 of 1923 on Paramount Plus, awesome show by the way. I can't just go out there and film it. You need a permit. You can't. It's not in the taxpayer's benefit for people to be using this place for their own like projects, their own gain. But my video was literally promoting the place, telling people you should come here. If you've never heard about this place, appreciate it. Appreciate the history here. It's amazing. This place is awesome. If you're ever nearby, you should come to it. If you're not nearby, you should plan a trip and find a way to come see this place because it's amazing. To me, that's not the point of the permit, right? But again, hey, they got their rules. I get it. Okay. I'm not trying to break the rules all the time. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Love Joe Buck, my favorite football announcer. Oh, wow. All right. Not the only one. Got a good trivia question for Niners fans. Where did the Niners have training camp in the 80s? Rockland. Yeah. I knew about that. Last week we talked about the practice facility in Redwood City. That's where I'm from. Love your Chargers headquarters video. Cool footage around the practice fields. Was hoping you get inside. Yeah, it was, it wasn't like run down, so all the doors were still locked. And so when we got on the property, we made the stupid boneheaded mistake of going straight to the building first. And then we turned a corner and there's literally like security cameras right there. So then we kind of rushed the rest of the video. And, we were way less experienced doing it when we did that. So like we got a lot of anxiety. We got stressed out. Our adrenaline was up. So we kind of rushed through that video. And that's honestly, that video is not that great as a video, like compared to my other videos. It's just the location is pretty unique. But it could have been a better video, but we were tripping that, authorities were on their way. So we kind of had to rush through the football field segment, which sucked. But yeah. Previews, live stream ideas. Yeah, I'm gonna do more giveaways and stuff. I think that Twitter Spaces thing with Summer Sale is gonna start soon. The giveaway winners from last week, I gave away the 2 posters. I haven't sent them yet because literally I have to wait till I get paid. I don't have money. I have no money to send this stuff, but they're ready to send. I get paid this week. I will send them. If anyone goes to the Chuki video, watches it, leaves a comment, and you want I have the original artwork for the Unite the Bay. These are the cheer cards from Unite the Bay. I will sign one and send it to you if you go leave a comment on the Chuki video. All right, leave a comment on the video, and then if you want one of these. If you don't want one of these, don't worry about it. If you want one of these, though, leave a comment, and then DM me on Instagram or something with your address and stuff, and I will send you one of these. All right, I just want to do more giveaways and stuff, hopefully. Also, Jack, you're here. Cool. I will send it. I get paid this week. It's good. It's sitting right by the front door. Literally, it's right there. I wanted to show this off real quick before I jump off. I'm going to join that Summer of Sale's Twitter Spaces and learn that. I found this official guidebook to the Golden Gate International Exposition. I found this book at an antique store for a very cheap price. You know what? I'm not going to have time tonight, but I'm going to go through this. I know not a lot of people will care, but this is like, I'm so happy that I found this. It is awesome. And it's thick. Look. Whole guidebook. This is basically Treasure Island across from San Francisco. That was an entire World's Fair, and this is the guidebook for that World's Fair. Crazy, awesome history. Yeah, so everyone, I'm going to go join right now. I'm going to join the Twitter Spaces for the Summer of Sale documentary, guys. I don't know how this works, so I will do it. I'm going to jump off for now. Thank you guys for joining for another Sunday live stream. I'll do more giveaways. Go leave a comment if you want one of these original cheer cards. This is baseball history now, right? The poster's in Cooperstown. And I just want people to watch the Chucky video. It's awesome. Yeah, that's it. I'll 49er ticket giveaway. I want to say the end of this week. I'll probably run it for the Buccaneers game. Like the end of this week. By then, I will post it on @VarietyShow with 2 V's on Instagram. I'll try to post a link on Twitter too. I'll try to remember to make a post so that everyone gets a chance to see it. And I'll give away the 2 tickets to the 49ers Buccaneers game. Do a live stream during the tailgate. That's a really good idea. Really good idea. Moved to Stockton in the mid-90s. I lived near Sierra College in Rockland, California. I got to see the greats. That's awesome, dude. Chucky video. That's the one I talked about earlier. It's where'd it go? I just lost it. It's spelled. I'll show you how it's spelled too. Hold on. Just cause I love this video and I want it. I want to give it some run. I'm walking through that you can see. That's how you spell it. Chewkee. It's not showing the right. There it is. Yeah, there. Okay. Chucky General Store. It's an awesome video. Yes, the General Store. I love it. I love that video. Great history. Great fun. Hopefully I'll finish this. I'll tell you guys straight up. It's a candlestick video. I'm working on a candlestick video. When I did the candlestick live stream giveaway and I gave away a bunch of stuff at Candlestick, I filmed a whole episode. I'm working on that now. It's so much stuff. Archival footage, historical footage. I'm putting my foot in this one. So that's why I didn't have a video this week. Hopefully the candlestick video will be up soon. And then after that, I got all the Texas stuff. I got our international episode soon. Some more abandoned sports stuff. Coming soon. You know what's another funny thing? I literally filmed a new intro for the channel, like a new commercial. And that was right before I changed the name of the show. And it was before I decided to change the name of the show, like by 3 days. So literally, I probably have to go film that again. It was fun too. But yeah. Jamie, what up? I'm about to jump off, but I want to tell you, since you won the poster, I was waiting to get paid this week to send the poster. I'll send the poster this week. So I did not forget, but had to wait. I did binge watch your videos, and it took me a couple days. Right on, man. I appreciate that. Some of the older videos are rough. I'm not gonna lie, they're rough. But yeah. If you want to check it out, Summer of Sale Doc on Twitter. I'm gonna join the Twitter Spaces. Somehow I gotta figure out how to do that. But yeah, it's right here. Wait. Summer of Sale on Twitter. I'm about to join their spaces. All right, 2410 Bengals. All right, guys. I appreciate everyone. More giveaways soon. Niner ticket giveaway towards the end of the week. Appreciate you guys.